The Honourable Leader of the New Democratic Party.
Mr. Speaker, I'm going to ask you and the Premier to push a grocery cart with me up a couple of aisles. Let's start in the freezer aisle. Frozen peas, $2.99 at the start of the pandemic, $4.19 today. Concentrated juice jumps 69 cents to $1.49. Frozen pizza, $3.99 to $6.99. Mr. Speaker, these increases in the grocery bills of every household in the province are far greater than the government's recent 40-cent increase in the minimum wage. Does the Premier not realize that more is required from his government in order for people's paychecks to keep up with the cost of living?
The Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I assure the member we're well aware the list is much more expensive than the few products he's mentioned. The cost of living is going up. Nova Scotians are struggling. Canadians are struggling. People around the world are struggling under the weight of inflation. That's not a Nova Scotia issue. That's just a human issue right now. But to answer the member's question specifically about the minimum wage, the member may or may not be aware from his time in government, which would have used the same process. There's an independent committee that goes through a lot of process to determine the changes to the minimum wage. And when my philosophy in general, Mr. Speaker, is when the province of Nova Scotia asks people on a volunteer basis to do some work on behalf of the province, they should respect what those people come back with findings. And we respect the work of that committee, and we will be implementing their findings.
The Honourable Leader of the New Democratic Party and his first supplementary.
Well, let's take our cart around to the next aisle then, Mr. Speaker, to the dairy case. Cheese slices gone up from $4.99 to $5.99. Cheese itself from $4.99 to $8.99 a block. Eggs, $2.99 to $4.99. Let's compare this increase this year with the increase this year in income assistance rates, which is zero, a fact which is unaltered by today's DCS announcement. So in this moment of intense cost of living pressure, will the Premier agree to follow the example that's been set by New Brunswick and index assistance rates to the cost of living?
The Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the member for raising this very serious issue. We're looking at a number of things. We've taken a number of actions. I think any objective viewer of the response of our government to a number of issues would say, moving pretty quick. We've accomplished an incredible amount as a government in a very short order, and we've been And of course, events of the world continue to impact the lives of Nova Scotians as they go to pay for a number of things. And we're very conscious of that, Mr. Speaker. And we will continue the theme we've already established, the credibility we've already established with Nova Scotians, that where possible, we will act and we will not leave a single stone unturned when it comes to supporting Nova Scotians. We'll continue to do just that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I'll recognize you first. The Honourable Leader of the New Democratic Party.
Thank you. And the first thing we're going to see when we get there, Mr. Speaker, is hot dogs gone from $4.99 to $8.99 for a 900-gram package. Chicken breasts, $6.49 a kilogram in 2020. We picked them up, and that's $13.21 today. Bacon. Today's payday in the province of Nova Scotia, so maybe we'll have some bacon. $4.99 to $8.99 in less than a year. Now, what's in this cart, Mr. Speaker? These are the budget priorities of the people of Nova Scotia. So I want to ask the Premier if he will give his word that his budget next week will have at the top of its list making sure that everyone can afford to fill their carts with the things that the people of our province need.
The Honourable Premier.
I can assure the member that the priorities of this government are the priorities of Nova Scotians. They've spoken loudly and clearly that they agree with that every time they've been asked. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.